Secretary Steven Chu joins us now from the Department of Energy to talk about this budget. Mr. Secretary, first of all, thank you for the time. Appreciate it. The president is cutting budgets for a lot of your sister agencies. You're getting an increase. What does that tell you?
Well, it's completely consistent with the president's message in the State of the Union address. He said that we were going to be investing in energy, science, innovation, education.
And, sir, the one thing that does leap out here is this new money for the nuclear industry. You've got loan guarantees, an additional $36 billion, bringing the total to $54 billion to help build these new nuclear plants of the future. What do you think this actually means in terms of constructing new nukes?
Well, we hope, and the plan is that we start some nuclear reactors. We think this is going to enable industry to invest in 7 to 10 new nuclear reactors. With that, there should be enough confidence that the private sector can pick this up. And that's always been our plan, to get it started, show that you can build reactors on budget, on time, and then let the rest be taken up by the private sector.
We get 20% or so of our electricity from nuclear power right now. As a result of these commitments right now, is that going to change? Could that figure go up?
Well, actually, I personally hope so. First, we are extending the lifetime of the current reactors. We hope we can extend them to 60-year lifetime and perhaps a little bit beyond that. But again, this is restarting an industry that has been largely dormant for the last 30 years. I think it's very important as part of the way we can decrease our carbon emissions.
There is, of course, the waste issue, the administration not funding Yucca Mountain, which is, of course, the federal repository that a lot of folks have been counting on to put that high-level nuclear waste. What's the answer there, Mr. Secretary?
Well, as I've been saying since I took office, the Yucca Mountain was really off the table. We have just appointed a blue ribbon panel led by Brent Scowcroft and Lee Hamilton, two very distinguished public servants, a very distinguished panel that represents industry, scientists, all across the board, 15 people that will step back and have a fresh new look at what to do, given what we know today versus what we knew in 1982. The Nuclear Regulatory Agency Commission has said that dry cask storage is safe, and we have time. We have 50 years or perhaps even more to determine a path forward.
Let me ask you about some other aspects of the budget. The administration is also proposing to eliminate almost $39 billion in tax breaks for oil, coal, natural gas over the next 10 years. Aren't those businesses simply going to pass those costs on to their consumers at a time of economic uncertainty for a lot of Americans?
Well, this is part of what the president has been saying and pushing in the G20 countries. I think the elimination of subsidies for oil and gas worldwide will be a great stimulus to decrease our continuing increase in the use of these fossil fuels. And so I think it's part of that same message. We have to be very consistent in that, and and now you see it in the budget.
What do you make, Mr. Secretary? Because, of course, there are incentives within these tax breaks for some of these domestic companies to look for oil and gas right here in the United States. Are you satisfied with the natural gas supply in this country, given all the optimism about shale formations, for example?
Actually, I'm very optimistic about natural gas in the United States because of the shale gas. And I might add, this is work that the Department of Energy funded from 1978 to 1991. In 1990, companies like Schlumberger picked it up, and this is the whole thing that once the commercial sector picks it up, I think it's in good hands, and this is again part of our thing. The oil and gas industry with proven technologies doesn't really need subsidies.
Do we need a natural gas pipeline from Alaska if we have so much of a prospect here in the lower 48?
I am in favor of a natural gas pipeline in Alaska. But again, that's something that's in the that has to be worked out with the stakeholders, Alaska, the commercial entities.
All right, Mr. Secretary, we got to leave it there. The Department of Energy, one of the winners in the president's budget plan released today. Thank you for the time. We appreciate it, and we'll be sending it back to New York right now.